Hi, we're the Mouse Couple, and we went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
Let's do this.
Boot to you and 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 you. Happy Halloween. Oh, yeah.
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party takes place in Magic Kingdom every fall, well, starting in August, but every Halloween season starts in August at Walt Disney World, and this is a special ticketed event, so even though we're annual pass holders, we did have to pay extra to go specifically to this event. And there are a lot of things that make Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party very special. You can dress up, which is one of the biggest things, and as an adult, that's not something you get to do in Disney World really any other time. So we took full advantage of that, and we dressed as Carl and Ellie from Up. We attended this party with my family, so we didn't record a ton as we were on the road, but we're here today to tell you all about the cool stuff that we did, in addition to dressing up and looking super cute.
Yeah.
One of the first things you can do around Magic Kingdom is trick or treat. There are several trick or treat trails, and they are marked with big, inflatable, light up candy corn looking tube things. So as soon as you walk into Magic Kingdom, you're given a bag and one piece of candy. And things that we had seen, people were given M&Ms. We did not get M&Ms. We got a dark chocolate brownie Snickers bar. So mixing things up a little bit as the season wears on. But we went through several of the trick-or-treat trails as adults with no little ones with us, and we weighed our candy bags when we got back here, and we collected over 6 pounds of candy. That's a lot of candy. So we have enough to last us, and if we get any trick-or-treaters, to hand out some to them too. But that's just one of the cool things you can do at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. There are also several special meet and greets that you won't see at any other time. We met Jasmine and Jeannie early on in the party, and there were several others about. There was Jafar, and later in the night we also met Tweedledee and Tweedledum, which was very fun because my sister and her fiance were dressed as Tweedledee and Tweedledum for the party. But again, some really exclusive stuff and other special photos that you can only get during the party or only at night. Because we stumbled across a magic shot that was involving lights, so we ended up having a heart behind us in one of our photos, which was very special.
Yeah.
Another thing special for the event, of course, is merchandise and snacks. We didn't buy any merchandise because by the time we got to it, it was very much picked over by the end of the night. So if you're looking to buy anything special for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, go early. But we managed to try one snack, and that was the Not So Poison Apple milkshake. And everybody in my family tried it, and it was thumbs up all around. So we had to kind of prioritize what we were going to eat because there is so much to see and do at this party that we didn't have time to snack around as much as we would have liked, probably.
True.
But the Not So Poison Apple milkshake was definitely a winner and definitely super yummy. I love the little donuts on top.
Yeah, those were good.
There were also several ride overlays, but I'm not sure that they were, like, at least from what we experienced, worth the hype. We were one of the first groups in line for the Pirates of the Caribbean overlay, and I think there were, because their whole thing is there's live actors in the ride, and I think there were maybe 5 actors total.
Yeah, I think so. In
the queue and in the ride itself. So I mean, that was cool, but I don't know that it's worth standing in a monster line for. Haunted Mansion in previous years, because I've gone pre-COVID. This was his first Halloween party. They had one of the lovely ghosts sitting outside in the front area of Haunted Mansion. This time, she was in the back. You had to go through the queue to see her. You couldn't just walk up to the Haunted Mansion and get that special moment, even though the ride itself was the same as it is. But that was a 50-minute wait when we walked by, so we did not do that. And the teacups have an overlay, but while we were waiting for Tweedledum and Tweedledee, we watched and it was just, you know, they had some smog, they had some music.
Some lights.
Spooky lights, but not enough, at least for me, to be like, yeah, let's go. So my advice would be to prioritize other things than the rides that have their special overlays. As far as entertainment offerings for the party, there were several things that you could choose from. First off, they had some dance parties. The least best was probably the Zombeats Bash in Cosmic Rays.
Yeah.
There were basically 2 people, 1 zombie, 1 cheerleader, and they were leading small children in dancing. And we popped in, and then we were like, okay, popped out. They also had the Storybook Circus Disney Junior Jam for your little ones, and it seemed to be a little more happening. I know we saw Doc McStuffins and Fancy Nancy and Timon out busting a move.
Yeah.
They also had the monstrous Scream-A-Ween Ball, which was over in Tomorrowland, which said it would have Mike Wazowski and Sully, but there were times when there were no characters, and then we saw Sully.
Right.
Occasionally. So I was a little disappointed that they didn't have, like, at least one character out the whole time, like Flip. You know what I'm saying? Mike, and then he leaves and Sully comes. Because we walked by a couple times and we wondered, wait, is this it? Is this a party? And then came back later and then got to see Sully. So that was, you know, it was fine. An opportunity to bust a move and see some characters, which you know we're big on seeing characters. Kind of the big events of the night include the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular, the Halloween Parade, and of course the fireworks. The Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular we were waiting to watch, and then they had some sort of technical difficulty and it kept getting postponed and postponed and postponed, that we eventually had to bail and get our spot for the parade. So we did not watch the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular. But from afar, we could see it down the road because we were wanting to be on Main Street, and they just did an abbreviated version of the show for that performance. So I guess keep that in mind. It sounded good from what we could hear, and we heard good things about the show, but we didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
And we saw the fireworks, which were great, lots of fun. Definitely a cool experience to see the Halloween fireworks. And my only beef with the Halloween fireworks, which are Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular, is they have a large Jack Skellington puppet, which is extremely difficult to see unless you are right up front, which then you can't really see the fireworks as well. So you have to kind of pick and choose. Do you want to see the fireworks and all the projections on the castle, or do you want to be up close and personal with the Jack Skellington puppet? So things to keep in mind, but overall it's a really, really fun show. Lots to see, lots of fun moments, and it centers on the main Mickey and Friends characters. It's, if you're going, oh, I don't know about Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
It's not all about Nightmare Before Christmas. So, but if you are into Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm sorry that it's not all Nightmare Before Christmas. But after the fireworks and getting postponed for the Villain Spectacular, we headed down Main Street for Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade. And since we were on Main Street, we got to see Max as Powerline doing his thing, which was special, and only if you were on Main Street, not anywhere else along the parade route. He didn't get his dance on anywhere but the main drag there.
Because he comes out of Casey's and works his way up Main Street to the train station. So
Right. And then did the loop.
yeah.
So it was exciting to see him. I love a Goofy movie, and he's so cute. So he kind of was the pre-show while you're waiting for the main parade. They also, of course, had the Headless Horseman come down before the main parade, and you had to move your feet off of the road. That was what we were instructed, is that it upsets the horse. The horse is well trained and just goes, and he was going pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool and definitely set the spooky mood for the parade. And the parade is, again, one of my favorites that they offer at Disney World. I think the Main Street Electrical Parade is probably my number one, and this is my number two as far as parades go at Disney World. But lots of fun characters, lots of different characters from different films. Of course, you get your spooky moments with the villains, and of course the gravediggers from Haunted Mansion with their shovels that spark. But there's also fun moments. There's, from, at least for me, a new Buzz Lightyear float, which was cool. And just in general, it's always super fun to see that big candy bicycle float, which in the past Goofy pedaled it, now it's Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph. But just lots of fun. Everybody was happy, everybody was excited, and that was pretty much the way we ended our night with the second viewing of the parade. So now let's talk about if we think it's worth it. Let me preface this by saying whether or not we think it's worth it, the Halloween party completely sold out this Halloween season.
This is true.
And I expect that it will do the same for years to come. Personally, I love Halloween, so for me, I would say yes, it's worth it. Do I think that it's the best value as far as an after-hours event? I'm not sure. But we've also been spoiled with, like, free DVC Moonlight Magic events where we got to go into the park and get free snacks, when this was, here's free candy, but if you want the merchandise and everything, then you better be opening your pocketbooks. And the snacks, we're giving you the opportunity to purchase special things, rather than, oh, it's a celebration, here are the special things. Which, when we went to the Christmas party last year, it was technically an after-hours event. So that was more the vibe for that party for us. So, I mean, it is a big price tag. But again, I would go again. Just because I like dressing up, and I love Halloween, and I love that parade. I think my biggest advice would be not to prioritize the ride overlays. Get your trick-or-treating, and if you have concerns about allergies, make sure you look into the allergy-friendly trick-or-treating options, and make sure you or whoever in your party can get those treats that are appropriate for what you need, because Disney's great about offering that as well. But basically, I would say prioritize the things that are special, which would be the special characters, meet and greets, the fireworks, the parades, trick-or-treating, the villain spectacular, but also keep in mind that you're not gonna get it all done in one night. I don't think it's possible to do everything at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in one night.
No.
So, with that in mind, you have to prioritize and do the things that are going to make it worth it for you. Because again, you're paying extra to come. You're paying extra to be there. And I would definitely encourage you to dress up. We saw more people than I was expecting who were not dressed up. And I was very surprised. Because, like,
why not?
It's Halloween. Come on. Get your party started. It's Halloween time. This is the time. Like, this is literally the only time when grown-ups can dress up. So, dress up.
Yeah.
Have fun with it. And if you're gonna make your trip out to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, do that. Make sure you have lots and lots of fun. Interact with the characters in your special costume. They'll notice it. They're smart. You can have different conversations about it. And just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And get into the spooky spirit before Christmas time comes rolling in like a freight train.
This is true.
So I think that'll do it for our discussion of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Yeah. And then for next week, we'll do something a little bit different. So on Halloween Day, we'll post the full Boo to You parade. And then on the Wednesday of the normal day of videos, we'll post the full fireworks show. So you can see all that and not miss out on that. 'Cause I don't think I'll put the full show in here. I'll just kind of do clips over when we're talking. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think that'll do it for today. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you real soon.